So we're going to start doing similar figures. Similar means exact same shape. Just a different size. So like a scale drawing, for example. I might have you guys do. Thinking about how do you make a scale drawing at the school. Anyway, what I want to do, so I've got a big shape and a small shape. And every problem I see with similar, I'm going to write big over small. And just like set it up to remind myself what's going on. And if the two things are similar, every single side will be double, or every single side will be triple, or quadruple, or 1.5, whatever. But every single side will be the exact same amount bigger on the big shape than it is on the small shape. So what I'm going to do is go, okay, on the top, big divided by small means 10 over 5. So the top of the big shape is 10, the top of the small shape is 5. I got 4 colors, so that's kind of helpful for me. I know you don't, but if I look at the left-hand side of the shape, the big is 14, the small is 4. No? No. Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that wasn't 4. If I go to the bottom, the big is 10, the small is 5. If I go to the right-hand side, the big is 14, the small is 4. You see where I'm getting those numbers from? So the idea is, if these are similar, every one of these 4, when you divide them, you get the exact same answer every single time. If you get the same answer every time, they're similar. If you get even one that's different, they're not. So like, what's 10 divided by 5? 2. What's 10 divided by 5 over there? 2. So far, so good, but what's 14 divided by 4? It's not 2. It's 3.5. It doesn't really matter what it is. It's just not 2. So because these weren't all the same number, you're going to say not similar. If they were all the same number, they would be similar. That means everything's just like magnified by the same amount. This is goofy where like the top got like twice as big, but the sides got like 3 times as big, so it wasn't an equal change. All right, let's look at 2. Less. Alright, so I'm always going to write big over small. As soon as I see similar, that's like the main idea. And then I'm going to go like top versus top, right versus right, bottom versus bottom, left versus left. So top, those are both on top. The big one's 12, the small one's 4. And if I divide those, what am I going to get? I'm going to get 3. So let me check the right-hand side. Sometimes you don't have to check them all. I just did it on the first one to like show you an example. The right-hand side, the big is 21. The small one's 5. Well, when I divided these, I got 3. When I divide these, will I get 3? That's not 3. That's 4.2, I believe. But it ain't 3. So right away, I don't even have to check the other ones. I can just say not similar. Try 3. Big over small, write that first. So if you call me over to ask for help, that's the first thing I'm going to say. Like, did you write big over small? Yeah, you got to check all 4. Oh, because they're like the same. Yeah, then you're good. That's like contact. So in this one, big on top is 15, over here is 5. On the left-hand side, you get 12 over 4. On the the bottom, you get 15 over 5. On the right-hand side, you get 12 over 4. And what do you get when you divide all of those? You get 3 every time. So that means all they did was take this shape, multiply everything by 3, and you get this shape. So they are the same shape, just different sizes, and that's what's similar. All right, questions on that type? There's 3 types I want to go through. First part, okay? All right, let's look at number 11, please. So I see similar, so as soon as I see the word similar, I'm like, okay, big over small. I'm going to have that in there somewhere. And then sometimes they give you information you don't need. Like you'll see this one number up here that we're never going to use. Well, can you tell me which number are we never going to use? Which number doesn't have a partner? Which 3, right or left? That 3 doesn't have a partner, right? Like this 3 and this 9 go together. Question mark and the 15 go together. This is like, why are you telling me? I don't care. So you can cross it out if you want. And then we're going to look at like the same way we did a second ago, but now we're going to have an X in there. And we're going to have to find out what the X is. So if I look at the right-hand side, big over small would be 9 over 3. If I look at the bottom, big over small would be what? Big over small, so 15 over X. Did you say 5 to the answer? Yeah, so you're like 2 steps ahead. So that's like the setup. And then it turns into a proportion, like just like we were doing in the warm-up. So solve it, so go 9x, cross multiply. 3 times 15 is 45. And then divide by the number in front of the x. We caught it. Now we got 5. So if we put the 5 there, that makes sense. That's what we're doing. So you set up the same idea, big over small, and then you're just going to find out the x. Is that right? We need to 21, let's say. So there's like a little more variables in there. Again, I see the word similar. As soon as I see similar, I'm writing big over small. And you kind of got a choice in this one, which they're trying to make it easier for you, but people tend to get confused. But I'm going to look at like, okay, I'm going to do I need to have the x in there somewhere. Like that's what I'm trying to find. So that has to be in one of my fractions. So that's the small diagonal, right? So what's going to go up here? What matches with that in the big triangle? It's the 15. So that's big over small there. And then you can choose. Do you want to do 12 over 8, big over small? Or do you want to do 9 over 6, big over small? You can do either one you want. I'm going to do the 9 over 6 just because it's smaller numbers, and I think you're less likely to make like a math mistake that way. But you can do whatever you want. So I'm going to put 9 over 6, big over small. Same idea, and then this is again, like just like the warm-up, we're cross multiplying and find out what x is. Which I'll do in a second. But question on that setup? Alright? Cross multiply, remember that's in parentheses. So it's like 9 times parentheses 4 plus x. And then the other cross, 15 times 6 is 90. And our job is to solve that, find out what x is. So I would probably distribute first. I think that's probably easiest for most of you. 36 plus 9x equals 90. I'm trying to get that x by itself, so what's my next step here? Minus 36. Good. 9x equals, that comes out to 54. And then divide by 9, right? Divide by the number next to the x. And you should get x equals 6. Does that setup make sense? Other question on it? Try 22. And I'll go through that one, make sure we're okay, and then I'll let you. I'll give you the rest of the time. Try 22 right now. Is everybody still looking at this? Alex, you good? Angie said she's going to share with you. Does that work for you? Yeah. Just worry about your shoulders. Have you wrestled her? Is it close or is she not really close?
I'll try, and she'll just extend her leg out, and I'll try to go for a green. Like, yeah, get it. I'll try. It's kind of sitting there. On my bottom, and I try to get out. I have to really be careful. So normally I'll grab the thing. I can't do that in the shoulders.
Why is it like, so that's why. So that's like, 15 divided by 2 plus x. That's like the
All I do is
Hello? Yeah. Gonna be like in a few minutes. Oh, okay. Yep. Audrey, you gotta go to the office for a minute. I guess. Alright, so if I look at 22, they're asking me about similar. As soon as I see that, I'm gonna write down big over small and kind of go from there. So, in the bigger shape, the left-hand side is 15. So what has to go below the 15? Be a 5, right? Because that's the same side, but in the smaller shape. Over here, the big, like, right-hand side is 9. And the small right-hand side is negative 1 plus x. So that's how I would set it up. And some people might have these fractions, like, flipped. Like, right and left. That's totally fine. They get the same answer. I'm going to cross multiply. Go from there. So 15 times negative 1 plus x equals 9 times 5, so that's 45. So that'd be negative 15 when I distribute, plus 15x equals 45. I would then add 15 to both sides. 5x equals 60, and if you divide by 5, I might have done this like before. I might not have given you enough time, but it's 12. How many have 12? Questions on what I'm doing? Think you're alright? Keep going for the worksheet with the worksheet. Alright. Finish it up. I'll throw the answers up. You gotta show work, right? So don't just copy them down, but I want you to check them. Take a photo and submit when you're done. Make sure you submitted your warm up.